there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're going to find out what your weird choice of tactical rifle says about you. So sit back, prepare to get kicked in the stomach, and let's start the show. What the heck's a stomach? When the big igloo melts and the floral shirts come out, you've decided that running is not an option. You and your Dragunov SVD, well, you're staying put. This has nothing to do with the collapse of society or some misplaced sense of bravery. It's just you've done less running in the last year than both Christopher Reeve and FDR combined. The Dragunov is Russia's answer to the question, what if we made a sniper rifle, but kinda like not? You're so busy hunting down genuine optic mounts for the Dragunov that you barely shoot the dang thing. And when you do finally stumble across the real deal, your wallet cries out in horror, so you settle for the totally legit version from Crazy Cashmere's Bargain Blasters. That cheap mount is, of course, why you can't hit a pizza box at 300 yards, by the way, buddy. And I've got some bad news for you. That's not a Dragunov. It's a Military Arms Channel PSL. Torn between a pistol and a rifle, you pulled a King Solomon and went for a compromise with a pistol caliber carbine. But choosing the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, well, that's a little less Solomon and more his short bus riding, helmet wearing sibling, King Simpleton. Your first move? Flashing it on the gram with a proud "It folds" caption. But let's be honest, what's really gonna fold are your shooting skills under pressure. This is the rifle that you snag when you're trying to use an inanimate object to give yourself a personality. If there was a most gimmicky firearm award, the Sub 2K would already be giving an acceptance speech. But on the bright side, it's a guaranteed conversation starter, even if every conversation starts with, why? For our viewers in states with freedom-hating gun laws missing out on America's top-tier rifles, there's one tactical rifle-ish that knows all about limiting freedom. The venerable Mosin Nagant, also known as the left boat anchor and or of the communist world. The Mosin is the IKEA furniture of rifles. Cheap, hard to put together, and probably missing a piece. The Mosin owner likes to live dangerously, trusting themselves to shoot ammunition from manufacturers whose entire webpage is written in the preferred font of grandmas and serial killers, Comic Sans. It's the rifle you choose when you need something that's as reliable as a Russian winter when the Germans start heading east, which coincidentally is the last time anybody ever cleaned your Mosin. In fact, you know, if I'm thinking about it, no Mosin in existence still today has been cleaned since VE Day. They don't call it a garbage rod for nothing, folks. Ha! So you're the guy with the quad nods patrolling your upscale neighborhood, ensuring nobody dares put the trash on the curb before 6 a.m. You boldly put your life on the line every single day, taking on the menacing groundhogs that threaten the pristine greens of your HOA golf course. Clearly, only the Sig Sauer MCX Virtus patrol rifle suits your elite operations against the heinous crime of illegal parking. You snagged that MCX Virtus because the store clerk swore it's what the special forces use. Little did you know, Sig Sauer just scooped the name up from Hasbro's reject piles of Transformer monikers. There you are, lurking in the shrubs with your T-Rex arms plate carrier, poised to strike as Mrs. Jenkins dares to leave her garage ajar past 5 p.m. You might not be the hero the world asked for, but by golly, you're the hero your gated community never knew it actually needed. Hey, did you ever wonder what would happen if a space blaster and a walleye tuna had a really wild night after the Pope screamed, "Oh, mio Dio"? Well, the Beretta ARX100 would have been born. When the ARX100 owner was a kid, somebody introduced him to a Stromboli, and their love of all things Italian was born. This is the tactical rifle for that one friend that's always got to be just a little bit different, or in this case, a lot a bit different. You might own a Ford F-150 or a Dodge Ram, but they own an AMC Pacer. Beretta's engineers, somewhere between the 6th and 7th bottle of wine for the day, said, let's give them the interoperability of an AR-15, but the ergonomics of a 3-day-old loaf of focaccia bread. Designed out of the same space-age plastic as the Roomba, probably, the ARX100 is the go-to choice for the tactical dude who thinks bicep curls are best done 12 ounces at a time. The ARX100's action is peanut butter in the sense that it jams more than your grandma's 1980s mixtape. Hey, if you like to jam, come join me over on Twitch where we talk guns and play games every single day. Hey, that's twitch.com/Tundra Gaming Live. You can find a link in the video description below, and you can come on over and hang out anytime. Time for the ADD rapid fire round. If you've gone full hipster and are rocking the CZ Bren 2M, I'll let you ask your fellow hipsters if that M stands for might as well have gotten something else or mighty expensive for something so average. I mean, you could just use plain old AR mags, but you pay for the CZ branded ones that arrive in the same day as your fair trade organic coffee that you ordered with your sweatshop made iPhone. Are you using a Ruger Mini 14 as your tactical rifle? Hey, let me ask you a question. How does it feel to be the captain of the USS Bad Decisions? The Mini 14 is like a less accurate AR that only runs well if you use Ruger mags. You, my friend, are the reason the gene pool needs lifeguards. Hey, congratulations, you hit the lotto and decided it was time to flex on the peasants. Your LWRC rifle is pretty cool and we're happy for you, but it turns out when you said hit the lottery, you didn't mean Powerball, you meant that larger gal whose dad owns the local Toyota dealership. When he gets a Benz dealership, you're dumping that LWRC for an LMT rifle. Too bad you have more pictures of your AR on the gram than of your girlfriend. If you cried when the Queen died and you celebrate July 3rd as Dependence Day, then your tactical rifle of choice is a Lee Enfield. Honestly, the rifle has a pretty strong pedigree and I'm not even that mad. The Enfield has been in more wars than your sister has been in back seats. Hey, you remember when Bushmaster was cool? Yeah, me neither. It's the rifle that you have left after your second divorce and your first midlife crisis. If you have an old school one that you managed to keep in the divorce, you probably only break it out when your friends come by so you can say, I was into ARs before they were cool. Joke's on you, bud. They've always been cool. The Tavor X95 is the bullpup for people who want to argue about bullpups. It's the tactical rifle for those who think that they're ahead of the curve. Spoiler, the curve is just a circle and you're right back to where you started, friend. It's like the guy who always plays devil's advocate in every single conversation. I mean, if this rifle had a contrarian selector, this one's stuck on it. But hey, at least you're not mainstream, even if you're just a little bit awkward. When I can't sleep, I just call my friend and ask him about his Recce rifle, and 5 minutes later, I'm out cold. There's no standard definition for a Recce rifle, so it's perfect for the guys who spend more time on gun forums arguing about specs than actually shooting. I feel like there was a shot taken there at me by the writers. Why don't you tell me what makes your rifle a Recce rifle in the comments below, and I swear I'll make a writer read it as punishment. Raise your hand if you bought a Colt LE6920 because it simply said law enforcement only right underneath the Colt pony logo on the side. And yes, I know it's a 6920. I just thought it sounded funny. Hope that horse logo makes up for that price tag, buddy. What a nostalgia trip. It's the rifle equivalent of that guy who won't shut up about his high school football days. We get it. You peaked. Now move along. Now, if you can believe it, I read almost every single comment that comes in by way of YouTube, and too many of you strangely have told me that your tactical rifle of choice is a reproduction of some sort of black powder musket. I'm just going to go ahead and make the assumption that you're all rocking a French Charleville. Astonishing craftsmanship and perfect for those who want to shoot, but also have a backup plan to surrender. All right, that's enough rapid fire for today, so let's take our meds and focus up. If the old 4570 lever action is your go-to tactical rifle, let me be the first to thank you for your effort to keep the world safe from grizzly bears and desperados. Hey, whoa there, buddy. I'm not trying to start a kerfuffle or a dust-up. I really believe that you have the ability to crank on that lever faster than any newfangled AR-15. Trust me, nobody here doubts your cranking speed or wants to come between you and your sturdily built cousin. Just try to keep those mustaches from getting tangled up, okay there, bud? You tactical lever action guys are the same people that won't admit that they're experiencing a midlife crisis and engaging in some Yellowstone cosplay. Look, pal, if you were going to run a cattle ranch in the Big Valley, it would have happened by now. I admire lever action fans because they just won't quit no matter how facts and reality insist that their rifle of choice is horrific in every single way. In an attempt to modernize, we've begun to see lever actions with pick rails and M-lock slots, which just begs the question, why not get an AR and make your life easier? It's for this exact reason you never let a lever action fan be your guide in a new city. I mean, by the time they admit that they're lost and can't find that awesome little known fish and chips restaurant, it's gonna be too late to eat anywhere else other than the all-you-can-eat buffet at the 24-hour strip club on the outskirts of Denton County, Texas. By the time you get out of there, all the money that you saved up for the local gun show will have been given to charity. Here's hoping she makes it through med school. Subscribe.